Of this sinful woman who has heard that he's there and goes to see him. Now, when you hear the phrase sinful woman, a woman who's lived a sinful life, what comes to your mind? Probably the same thing, which says a whole lot more about us than it probably does about her. We have no idea. Maybe she was a banker or a lawyer and she cheated her customers. But what we think of when we think of a woman who was sinful is almost always sexual. It's the way somehow our culture thinks. And the way I think that Jesus might try to retrain. Well known well enough that when she walks into the room, they recognize her. And you have to imagine, could you imagine us having a nice little fellowship meal and the minister is sitting over here finishing off the chicken leg and in walks this woman with a reputation, and she comes in and starts pouring oil on and kissing his feet. You imagine how bizarre that looks? Can you imagine the thoughts that start running together in your heads? Can you imagine the little whispering? Oh, she seems to know him awfully well. Wonder what's going on here. The contagion of judgment. As if somehow we can't help but categorize people, label them, put them down so we can rise above them. It just seems to be the way we are, which is, to some extent, the way we're taught. And Jesus, make no mistake, is trying to teach us a different way. First by behavior, and then perhaps by a change of heart. You remember, he has come to give sight to the blind. And therefore those who have trouble seeing will gain his preferential attention. He's come to give hearing to the deaf, so those people who have difficulty hearing will gain his preferential attention. He's come to set the people free from their oppressor. And so it would seem he comes into any setting and is aware of what's oppressing these people, what's holding them back, holding them down, holding them away. And goes about this effort to do something about it. So you think about it. What is oppressing people? What is oppressing us? Well, it might be something the doctor told us, or something we're concerned the doctor is going to tell us. You are certainly aware of how many people refuse to go to the doctor simply because they're afraid of what that doctor might say. Really, really smart. That's how we are. But it oppresses us. It holds us back. It holds us down. And Jesus would respond to us with, trust in me, you are loved, whatever comes I will be with you, trying to set us free from what oppresses us. Sometimes what oppresses us is our really good memory of everybody who's ever hurt us. And the bitterness and resentment and sometimes hate respond with. You want to get rid of the bitterness, and you want to get rid of the hate, you want to get rid of this that seems to trap your spirit into an unhealthy, miserable place. Jesus simply says, forgive those who hurt you. And it will set you free from this prison of misery. What holds us back? It's the people that we keep at arm's length. The sinful ones. Well, let's not associate them with them. Let's not welcome them. Let's not do anything that might look like we condone their lifestyle. Let's not do anything that looks like we're somehow okay with who they are. Let's make sure that we don't get splashed with the same stain that we're putting on this person. Right? Because it's really important to be clean. Let's hold them at arm's length. Let's put them in a category, put them in a cage, not realizing that in so doing we're putting ourselves in a cage. We're separating ourselves from other people. To which Jesus says, quit doing that. Quit drawing these lines. They're just in your imagination. Quit thinking you're superior. It's just a great human delusion. Quit somehow judging yourself as righteous and other people as unrighteous and sinful. Quit assuming that you deserve the attention of Jesus and God, and they don't. Jesus has told us, I'm here for the sick. I'm here for the blind. I'm here for the deaf. I'm here for those trapped in their sin. And if you're not the one who's labeled sinner, then you're the one that's labeled righteous and have got lost in your judgmental attitudes. And he's here to free both of us. How would he do that? How does this story change if Jesus was invited to this dinner party at the Pharisee's house, and in the midst of the meal, a woman comes in and blesses him by washing his feet and anointing him with oil. And everyone there thought, isn't that wonderful? Look at this. Our sister over here is doing this great honor to this man that we all care for as well. The story changes because the attitudes have changed, because lines have not been drawn, and suddenly everyone gathering is talking about the wonder of this moment, a memorable, powerful moment in which this woman, in her own way, just expressed the same care and compassion, admiration and adulation that we have for Jesus too. How much does the world change if we quit drawing lines and see others as our brothers and sisters, not better, not worse, equal, beloved, cherished, defined by the fact that Christ gave his life for them, defined by the fact that God loves them as children, and defined in no other way. Of course, all of us have our issues. There are things that we're doing that are destructive of others. There are things we're doing that are self-destructive. There are things we still have to deal with. But just how much simpler, how much richer, how much more abundant would life be if we just saw in each other, looked into each other's eyes, and saw a child of God. I don't think it comes natural. I certainly don't think that society at large teaches us that at all. But it does seem to be the very deliberate intention of Jesus to help us understand life and one another in those terms. To overcome whatever it is that has taught us to place people in categories and label them and put them in a hierarchy with us always on top. And to see us all as children. Jesus seems to be teaching us that perhaps the most sinful attitude and the most sinful people amongst us are the ones that go around labeling people as sinful. Stop doing that. And see how it changes the world. Stop doing that and see how it changes your immediate group of acquaintances, our family, our friends, our church, community. Stop doing that and see how much it changes you. Let us pray. We do seem to still have a great deal to learn, oh God, a great deal to learn from Jesus about this loving fellowship that you hope to create, that Jesus gave his life for. And we're so very grateful for the people we've encountered who have learned so very much in their lives and who have always found a way to be gracious to us. They truly have saved us. They have changed us. They are the ones that bring smiles to our faces and warm our hearts whenever we think of them. And we're so very grateful that we have had our moments, oh God, when somehow we were filled with that same Spirit and we had the opportunity and by your grace we came through. And we helped someone else experience this life-changing understanding, this life-giving Spirit. And we want more. So continue to teach us, oh God, to help us struggle with our own struggles and overcome our own weaknesses and somehow find a way to erase those lines we draw. In Jesus' name.